Good morning, my friends. I hope you are well. Happy Monday. The one thing I love about being retired is the mornings that I can sit out in the sunroom and just crochet in quiet. You might be able to hear the TV or whatever Mr. Jerry's listening to in the background, but this is my time of the morning that I sit here with my cup of coffee and I listen to my devotions, and then I just pick up something to knit or crochet. Today I'm crocheting on a Christmas gift. It will be a pillow. It is called Surfside Mosaic Pillow, and I've made one other one, and I'll try showing you that today because it is finished. But morning time is just, for me, I just love the quiet. I can sit in a house that is quiet. Of course, we got the sounds of the clocks, but we also have the sounds of the nature of the birds and everything. But I just wanted to come on and say happy Monday. I hope that your week is going to be a great week, no matter what you are going through or facing. Always remember that God is in control, and there are others out there that are praying for you and for me. So I will let you go, and I'll bring you along on my day today. I have no special plans today. It's supposed to be in the low 80s again, and yeah. So I hope that this finds you well. I will see you soon, my friends. room, as you can see, and I'm finishing up on the rug. I've shot a couple of portions before this. When this rug gets this big, I find if I fold it over and it takes the weight off the back side of it. The other thing is that when you're doing this, I find that if you make sure that they're flat right in here, you see, so this is laid flat right through here, so it's not bunched up, then I get a flat edge. And the way I do mine is I have the finished side next to the sewn side of that. I find for me that works out the best. So so that you're not tipped. So it is not perfect by any means, because I have to go back and do the back side and catch spots that for some reason hasn't caught, because I'm going right down the center. So, but looks like I just ran out of thread too, so let me change that. You can see where I ran out of thread. So I also found that by using one pin, for me, helps hold it so that the rope here does not advance, because sometimes when you're sewing you tend to push, and so this will advance more, and that will give more than it needs, and it will also give a wave. And I just find that if I put a pin in it, it's a little bit more cumbersome, but for me it gives me the better outcome. So let me go back here to where I was. So I just take one pin and I just hook them together, and then I try not to go super fast around the curves, because the larger it gets, the less, well, you don't need to gather anything in there. You just need to make sure that your joins are lying pretty darn flat. So, but I wanted to get this done so then there'll be one less Christmas gift. And then there will be Saturday. I'm going to be doing a sew-along with a group on Facebook, Cuts and Bolts. It is a mystery jelly roll, because Saturday is Sew a Jelly Roll Day. So she's going to do a simple one that you can use 1, 2, or 3 jelly rolls. She says one jelly roll will do a lap size, 2 jelly rolls will do a full size, and 3 will do a queen. So sometime today she's supposed to upload the requirements if there's any cuttings or anything. We're going to also do a video. So I wanted to try to get this one done, and then I need to pull out the other one I did and go on the back side and make sure there's none that haven't been done, laid down flat, so that I can be ready for Saturday. So today is kind of a lazy day, still in my PJs, but I'm going to go take a shower. But I know this color right here is the last strip. Mr. Jerry just went out to work in his area. He's refinishing a table. One of these times I will go out there and record what he's doing. So this thing is laid flat out, and so I can tell that it throws extra weight, so I just bring up the back side. This is where they say you need to have a flat surface, and that's why I have my project bins, so that helps it not pull on it, because my machine sits on top of the table and not in the table. So usually today would be the day that I would do bread, but last night for supper we were going to have a grilled cheese sandwich. I was going to have a half of one, and Jerry got the bread out to slice it up, and it was all moldy. Now that's the first time that's happened. I can't tell you how long. Usually the bread lasts without it getting moldy, and it's only, today would have been 7 days, but I'm thinking between the weather that might have had something to do with it. But so last night about 7:30 at night, 7:30, I made our bread for the week. So by 10:30 last night it was all done, so I don't have to do that today. I have no canning that needs to be done. So laundry we did over the weekend, and when I say we, Jerry tends to do his own clothes ever since he's been retired. That's what he's done. And then yesterday he did all the towels, so I didn't have to do that. So today is going to be a do whatever you want day, crafting wise. But so there will be another sewing video because it will be on that mystery one. I don't know if anybody else gets a heavy foot when they start off on their sewing. I do know I want to try on this jelly roll. I'd like to do, I've seen some end table coasters. I've seen coasters. I've seen end table rugs. I've seen placemats. Because this right here, this rug took 42. The last one, well, I think it was 40. The last one was 40 also. And it takes a while to sew all that together. Where a placemat, I think only takes 17. I'll have to look at my booklet because she has a thing in there on how to do that. But yesterday I was sewing on this, and Miss Nala kept thinking it was her bed and she would lay on there. And I'll insert pictures from yesterday so you can see. So I didn't get to hardly sew on it. I could have finished it yesterday. We watched our Lions play, and then I came in to do some sewing, and she didn't want me out here sewing. If I got up and I went back to the sunroom, then she followed me there, and she jumped to the top of her perch on the tower, and then she'd go back to sleep. And every time I would leave to come out here, the next thing I know, she's back out here with me. So I keep telling Jerry that it's because she's so young, I think. She's 2 years old. We had, you know, rescued her and Simba, her brother. And it's like having a young child. They don't want to be left alone sometimes. They want to know where mom and dad are all the time. So, and on my diamond painting, on that horse, I got one section left to do, and then that will be done. And you would have saw me crocheting on Lindsay's pillow this morning. So, trying to get these handmade stuff done because, you know, everything takes time. Plus, I still like to do stuff that I would like. See, I'm getting right down to the end. I don't know if I got, yeah, I got my shears here. Because there's this, I learned a different way of doing the ending too. So I don't know if you saw my video on Friday, or actually Saturday, because I didn't record Friday, but I combined Friday and Saturday together. Miss Janet, I bet that blanket's going to be nice that you're making for her. I just keep seeing all these different things that I want to make and do. I don't know what kind of, maybe I don't know if I'm what I am on a crocheter or a knitter. I just enjoy making things, and I just enjoy giving them away as gifts. But it just puts a little bit of a meaning into it for me. Hi, Simba. And Simba's just out of sorts today. What you doing, Simba? No, you gotta leave that alone. Let me tilt you up so maybe you can see him better. Maybe without. So you can look at Mr. Simba instead of the sewing. Miss Jenny, I hope that your jelly roll comes out good, but don't be afraid to rip things out. Take your time with it. I think that the beginning part of them is the hardest. When I say hardest, it's just knowing that you're getting all the pleats, enough pleats in it so that it lays flat. So that's why I sent you that video of that gal on how she starts hers, because once I did her start, oh my goodness, it just was a game changer. Plus, using a pin, until I use several pins in the start, and to be able to get it straight when you first start and not look like a banana shape. So but I know my first one was wavy, had to tear it out. My second one took me almost a week, so full of waves, and I remember just crying over it because I felt like I was wasting all that thread. And if you don't tear it out when it first starts to wave or buckle, it doesn't improve, it gets worse. So I'm almost to the end. And I need to get my scissors. So pardon my reach in front of you all. So let's see if I can. So I only have this little bit left, and what I do, and you can do it any way you want. Some gals buy a name tag or anything that right there. You can just continue to sew it. When you first started, you could have folded those ends in so it was a neat edging like that. And then you could imagine that's all tucked in and sewed. Then you could just sit there and sew it just like this. But I lift it up. Oh, I leave it down, and I will cut from the corner edge up to however deep I want it. I almost did that backwards. So I've cut that long triangle off. So when I sew it, it should just blend right in. Should. That's the optical word here. So, and I use my left hand to turn it, but the machine is pushing. This hand is just guiding is all it's doing, and my left hand is hanging onto the rug because it gets heavy, and I try to keep it so that it's in between. My zigzag setting is a 6.5 millimeter and a 3 millimeter. So move that pen. And in reality, as long as it lays flat, most people are going to just be super tickled with this. So what I'm going to start to do is when that gets closer, is the whole idea is to try to get that so that it will lay flat against it. So we'll see. Use my knee lift. And I didn't catch it, so. Because I'm recording, that's why. So it's not always the easiest to catch it, but see if I can get that tucked in there a little bit more. So that's kind of what it looks like. So, but anyways, then the rug is done. So I will open it up and then I'll pick you up so you can see it. So this is what it looks like. And I just sewed it as the same way that it came off from the jelly roll. So those are the prints. And what I was talking about on the back side, see if I can see one. I have a marked. So right there where it didn't catch. I really don't think it would make a difference, but I have several of them, so now I'm going to go do that. But yay, friends, another Christmas gift is done. So thanks for joining me, and yeah, we'll see what the day brings. This is already 20 minutes. Hey friends, welcome back. Teri here. How are you? So I have just been crafting like crazy, as you saw. Both kitties are now coming in. Simba's on the floor behind me. Miss Nyla just walked in, so we'll see how long this lasts. But I just wanted to hop on and say hello and show you some stuff. So let me first show you. Oh, I'm trying to think. Back in the winter months, I had placed an order for a quilt that I really liked, and it was one of those things that you just a second. Nyla just walked underneath the tower thing, and what you doing, Nyla? And it was one of those through Shabby Fabrics. It was like you pay $10 now, and then when the bill comes in, it was like $80, and it included the pattern and the fabric except for the backing. And it's called Stained Glass Panel Quilt by Dragonfly Dance by Northcott. It's supposed to be 53.5 by 66.5 inches. Oh, Simba's going to go up on his perch. He hasn't been up there in a long time. Hey, Mr. Simba. He's just been out of sorts. We just don't know what's wrong with him. So, but anyway, so that came in, and this is what it's going to look like. I can't see, so I'll put it back here. It is so gorgeous. I just love the looks of this one. And I like the idea that it is a panel, and then it looks like big blocks that you're just cutting into squares. And the pattern's on the back of this. So you get one fabric panel, you get a turquoise watercolor, excuse me, and then you get black. And then there is from each of the 7 fabrics. I didn't think there was 7 fabrics in here. Let me take it out so you can see. So this right here, is this the right way? Nope. So I will make this for us. So, but this is so pretty. Isn't that pretty? So I like those colors. Oh, there is, I see all the 7 colors. They're just folded up, because Shabby Fabrics is good at cutting things into the panels that you need. So It's like I don't know where to put stuff. Like I haven't done this in a while. So this is the other color right here. Isn't that pretty? So that'll be one of the blacks. Of course. Here is your black. As black as can be. It's got fuzz, but okay. So how do I want to do this? I think I might flip you around. So just a second. All right. So this is the first fabric. So pretty. I love this look. This watercolor look is what it reminds me of. Oh, look at the dragonfly. Let me see if I can open it up more. Do you approve? So there is this print here with a dragonfly. Nyla's got to help. That's pretty. Ooh, so was that. So most definitely I will be making this. Oh, that's just sharp. This is going to be one heck of a quilt. Oh, and that's it. So let me fold this back. So I just had my lunch. I had a turkey salad with a small bag of Doritos. Mr. Jerry's outside again in his area. I just like this. And I'm going to go do some diamond dot painting on another one, not the horse one. And there's that. So just a second. And then I shut you off. So that is that stained glass one. So when I do all that, I will be sure to take you along. Then I am making Christmas gifts. And I finished the one pillow. And I am working on the other pillow. And it was supposed to be a 20-inch pillow. And I had a 20-inch pillow form here, but I didn't think, even though when it's out it's still measured, but it's got to be more than 20 inches because I had to order a 24-inch. So I don't know. They're nice and big. It's the type of pillow that you can throw on the couch, you can snuggle with, you can lay your head on it. And so, but anyway, so the first one is for our daughter. And I did put the tassels, because it's a variegated yarn. It made all the tassels the different colors. So then I just, sat there. Look how big this thing is. See what I mean? Look at that. And then the back was just plain white. And then when you joined them, you did a single crochet. And I like that it's in that variegated that I use, because then it gives it all that. So, yeah. So I did do, thank you Miss Laney, the tassels as she suggested. Yeah. So let me put this down. And I did get the rugs done. So just a second. So this is the first rug that I did. This will be for our daughter. And I see I need to clip some threads. I'm seeing threads here they need to clip. But So that is the colors for hers. And then you would have saw me do Lindsay's this morning. And this is Lindsay's. And there's her colors. And this is just how it came off the jelly roll, so but yeah. And they are nice size. I haven't measured them to see. Just a second. Because if I don't move these, the kitties will. And there's nothing wrong with the kitties laying on them. But I just like to keep things halfway, you know. So, oh, I'm so glad to have those done, the rugs. And working on, like I said, I'm working on the other pillow, and I just started the second repeat on the front. I, of course, have the whole back side to do. And I do have the other pillow form waiting for it too. But it just feels good to do something like that. I don't know if the girls really are going to use them or want them. I don't know. I will, like I said, send some grippy stuff to go underneath it, because it can slide, because it's fabric, unless you put it on a rug, you know, a carpet or something. So that will be included in their gift too. But like I said, I thought about I've done coasters for them, and I might do coasters again. They seem to like coasters, but I think this time, last year they got them crocheted. I think this year I will do cut some 5-inch squares and do something like that. I usually do, well, let's see, my son and his family would be 5, and then our daughter would be 2, but I would probably, I don't know, we'll see. Sometimes I just do one each. It's just something little, you know, and but I might crochet some up too, so that they can each have, you know, a choice. But I just like doing little things like that. But like I said, that jelly roll mystery thing will be Saturday, as far as I know. And I haven't looked to see if she's posted anything. Very first thing this morning, but you know, they're like a couple hours behind us. But I can't wait to be able to start this. But y'all know I got my daughter's quilt that I got to finish cutting all the fabric out, and I got to get some black, and I got to get that done, because it's her year to get a quilt. So, and that's sitting in a bin waiting for me, because I started doing the jelly roll rugs, and I just felt like if I could get them done, you know. So, but anywho, this is going to be way longer than it normally is, so I hope you don't mind me sewing along in my pajamas and everything. This is just retirement. This is just real life for me. And so I am going to let y'all go, I think, because there's not too much more. I can't think of anything to talk to you about. You know, we're both just enjoying this retirement life this time, and for me it is a lot of crafts. We do get our housework done and stuff like that, but I find since it's just the two of us, Mr. Jerry has always done the dishes in the dishwasher, so he always does that, but then I help clean up and all that stuff. Laundry usually is done a couple times a week. We vacuum once a week, dust every few weeks, sometimes longer. Oh, I did get a harvest out of the garden yesterday. It's slowly winding down. Things are dying out, and I'm not one to plant a fall garden. So I think it's because I'm busy between canning and everything else, that the idea of continuing to grow spring stuff in the fall, like your carrots or your cabbage and stuff like that, I'm over it. Basically. But it does, second year of doing it, and it does help that now I kind of know a little bit more what to plant for next year, what not to. I tried cantaloupe, and the bugs got to it so bad, and we had one cantaloupe on it. We had two actually, and one we got rid of. It wasn't good. And then last night, the one I was holding out hope for, because it says when they're ripe they automatically break from the vine. This one broke from the vine, but it was super soft. Jerry was able just to open it up. It wasn't, but you know, the inside looked like a cantaloupe. It was so disheartening, because I grew a little cantaloupe that looked like a cantaloupe, smelled like a cantaloupe, but it was super soft, and you could see on the outside there was damage. So, but I did get a few more aromas that I have to ripen on the counter, and I'm just going to throw them in the freezer bag. And when I get enough aromas together, then when I need to process something, I have them in the freezer. I am getting a little bit of cucumbers here and there. Not a lot, one or two, but that's all right. Still getting a little bit of peppers. We did get an acorn squash yesterday, and I think there's two more out there. And the butternut squash, I think there's two, and there's a little mini one. I just don't know why the squash didn't grow a lot. So, but Mr. Jerry's happy with that, because he got an acorn squash. He loves that, and hopefully we'll be able to get him before the first freeze some butternut squash. And the beans, green beans that I planted, shoot, by the 1st of June is finally starting to get flowers and producing some green beans. Sorry about that. I don't think it's going to give us a lot. I could be wrong, but it was 4 plants that I could only survive 4 plants. So, and I still have a bed of potatoes. We dug one up yesterday just to see. We pulled the plant up and there was nothing there. And when I started digging, there was a big old potato. So we need to do that probably tomorrow. Mr. Jerry's out working. This week is going to be super warm and nice, and it gives him time to do the stuff outside that he wants to do. And the potatoes won't take very long to dig up, but yeah. So the only thing left I want to do in canning is unsweetened applesauce. I'd like to try apple juice this year, and cranberry juice. And if we can find pears, we would like to do pears, do them in slices, cubes, however, and do some of those. So, and then that will be it. That will be it. Our pantry is bursting from last year. The good Lord has just abundantly blessed us, in a garden that I was so full of hopes, and then it got dashed by bug disease and weather and everything. It's still producing enough that I always thank it every time I pick something, because it could have just all went to waste. But when you get one or two things here, that's all right. Next year I would really like to, I'm going to move the green beans and put them on the bigger arches that I had the cucumbers on, and I'm going to load it up because I want to get all of our green beans instead of going to buy it, and hopefully that will work. I really don't think I need to plant tomatoes at all, because we ended up in diced tomatoes. We ended up with 21 pints. Y'all, we don't eat that many diced tomatoes, but they keep. So the pasta sauce and the what I call pasta sauce, spaghetti sauce, it can be used for pizza sauce, but I do want to make a pizza sauce out of the Romas. That's why they're also going in the freezer. But the tomato soup, we I think 21 pints, and pasta might have been close to that. Green beans, we have a lot, but we eat a lot of green beans. We got the frozen sweet corn and peaches. We got peaches galore. And I didn't do pickles. I did pickle relish this year, and I did, I think, a few extra more than what we did last year, because my friend gave us some of her cucumbers for it because mine were not doing. So, and that gave us some pickle relish. And the only thing I really have to do is some more ketchup. Most people like to, when you're out of ketchup, you just do a single batch and then you got ketchup. I'd rather sit there and do 6 to 8 pints of it. That way it lasts us a while and I don't have to dig all that stuff out. So I do have to do that, but not today, because we have 2 pints in there and we have one that's full in the refrigerator. So, but other than that, that's what the retirement life for us is like. If you hear that, Mr. Jerry's power washing at the front of the house, because we don't get much sun that hits the first foot or two of it, and so it gets kind of greeny. So, but anyways, thanks again for stopping by, my friends. I hope that your Monday, or whatever day you're seeing this, is a good one. And thanks for putting up with all the things that I show you and sew with you. It's just like I have a friend with me that I can sit there and say, this is how I do it. How you do it might be different, and that's all right. And yeah. So I know this is going to be longer, so, and I'm not going to apologize for it, because sometimes they're way shorter. So until we meet again, my friends, stay strong, stay safe, do the best job you can, and keep crafting, keep making, keep doing what makes you happy. See you soon.